A very good morning, 8th standard. This is discussion video of block 3 major conflicts in Europe. So take out your worksheet, your content book and notebook in which you had written the answers. As you know, we are going to discuss additional question practice questions along with the worksheet questions. I will discuss only those questions which I think that you may feel difficulty to solve in. Now get ready with your worksheet. S1, the French Revolution. Read the comic strip and describe one of the problems being discussed. So you can write any one of the problem here. Write two causes of the French Revolution. This question also you will attempt by your own. Write down any two causes. Write one similarity between American Revolution and the French Revolution. The similarities were the revolution were based on taxes. Second thing, the revolt was done by the common people. You can write your own answers also. Now move to the who were the counter revolutionaries. Counter revolutionaries were people who were against the ideas of the French Revolution and tried to reverse the revolutionary trends. Now, how did the Napoleon spread the ideas of French Revolution even though he re-established the rule of monarchy in France? Napoleon followed expansionist policies and brought most of the Europe under his rule, which helped in spread of the revolutionary ideas through the Napoleonic Code. What do you think would have happened if Louis XVI had cooperated with the system of constitutional monarchy? Maybe the people will accept him and let him rule with their own rights and privileges. He might not be executed if he had given more rights and privileges to the people. What were the two different feelings of people towards the French Revolution of European territories? The first feeling was the feeling towards the fatherland, and the second was the feeling towards the citizen. Now, why did people continue to struggle against their governments even after the end of the Napoleonic era? The government after the Congress of Vienna was conservative. They restored the feudal structure of society and the authority of the church. They felt that these were necessary instruments of governance. The economic crisis in Europe eventually turned people against the conservative government. Do you consider the revolutions of 1848 to be a failure or success? Give reasons for your answer. You can write your answers according to your point of view. Maybe it is a failure or success. I had written that it is a success as many of the European countries got the ideas of liberalism, democracy, and it led to the democracy. Now, how was the French society divided before the revolution? So, the French society was divided into three states. You can describe the three states. It means that who make these classes. What document was adopted by National Assembly? What were its main features? The National Constituent Assembly adopted the Declaration of Rights of Man and the Citizen. The features were liberty, equality, and fraternity. It declared that all men are born free and equal, and that they are all entitled to free of speech and expression. Describe the form of government set up by the National Assembly. The constitutional monarchy was set up by the National Assembly. Why did constitutional monarchy fail? The constitutional monarchy was fail as after the declaration on the war of Austria, King Louis hoped that Austria and Prussia would help him get control over the people and restore the power of monarchy. But in the meantime, Roman Emperor Leopold preparing to invade France as a counter revolution. That is why it was failed. Describe the circumstances that led to the reign of terror. So, in France, the response to the events such as mm, war on Austria and Roman Emperor invade France, all these events against the monarchy was huge. Parisian crowds led by women broke into Tuileries Palace and imprisoned the royal family. On September 20, 1792, monarchy was abolished. Louis XVI and his wife Marie Antoinette were executed. After that, a reign of terror was established. Why was Napoleon able to establish a dictatorship in France, even though it went against the principle of French Revolution? The new republic was so high that at least 18,000 people were accused of counter revolutionary activities and executed. Misuse of power and corruption became widespread. The military became more important as they were needed to restore order. This led to increase in the power of Napoleon Bonaparte. Describe the features of regimes that came back to power in Europe following the death of Napoleon. Napoleon's defeat in 1815 reversed the progress of liberal ideas. European governments now adopted conservatism. They believed that traditional hierarchies such as monarch, the church, and nobility were important. How did the idea of nationalism spread all over the Europe? It was spread through Napoleonic Code as most of the countries of Europe Napoleon brought under his control and he imposed Napoleonic Code. This spread the idea of nationalism. Why was the year 1848 referred to as the year of revolutions? Even though the revolutions failed, how did they impact Europe? The 1848 is referred as the year of revolutions as many of the revolts took place here for you can say for the democracy or for the unity or for the nationalism such as Ireland, Hungary, Poland, German states, Italian states and the Ottoman Empire also. When these ideas led to a series of revolution and the ideas were given fire by the liberal nationalists who were educated middle class people. Though their revolts were not successful, but it led to the democracy in most of the European countries. Why do you think the rise of nationalism in Europe ultimately led to the unification of Germany and Italy? When people start thinking about their own nation, and they thought that different types of government, different types of trade are disturbing their country, their development, their growth, the feeling of nationalism led to the unification of Italy and Germany. Could the French also have adopted the slogan no taxation without representation? Yes, they could. As the common people, those who were giving lots of taxes, but they did not have any of the representatives to say their problems. Revolutionary ideas from intellectuals and the American Revolution sparked of French Revolution. Do you agree or disagree? Give reason. Yes, they sparked off by the intellectuals, as they used to uh, share their point of view in the public place or in the newspaper. So people also started to thinking like that. And when you have read about Montesquieu and Rousseau, they told that what should be done by the common people and how they are being exploited by the royal people. Then these ideas turn into revolutionary ideas. What was the significance of Napoleonic Code? Significance was that it spread the nationalism in most of the European country. Who were the main leaders of unification of Germany and Italy? Italy had Count Cavour, Garibaldi, Mazzini. Germany had King Wilhelm Ottoman Bismarck. Now, how did the culture and language help in the rise of nationalism? Nationalism was not only defined in terms of territory. Culture also play an important role in creating the ideas of nation. Art, poetry, folk music, and stories helped nationalist movements. Romanticism, a cultural movement in Europe, in particular contributed to the nationalist ideas. Romantic poets and authors laid emphasis on the use of local languages and local folk culture. They also give rise to feeling of having a common identity based on a shared ancient past. What was the unexpected outcome of Napoleon's expansionist policy? Under the code, administration was simplified. Feudalism declined and transport and communication system improved. The impact of these changes was observed by peasants and the middle class who began to enjoy the benefits of freedom. This initial eagerness towards the liberal ideas of French governance declined quickly. People came to resent the domination of the French. Policies such as imposing heavy taxes, not allowing people to express their opinion freely, and forcing people to join the army also made people hostile. The unexpected outcome of Napoleon's expansionist policy was that it spread the ideas of revolution, as well as it established the nationalism in most of the countries. I hope you understood it. If you do have any problem, please ask me in the comment section. Thank you and have a nice day.